So today we're going to take a look at this IBM ThinkPad 380D. Now I know I'm already in the middle of refurbishing some Toshiba Satellites, but I'm still waiting for polarizer film to come in. And I don't want to just wait around and not work on stuff. So take a look at this here. Now we did do a preview of it in the pickup video that I did for it, where we determined that not only is the plastic incredibly fragile and brittle, as you can see, but the display was also not in great shape. It's suffering from vinegar syndrome, unfortunately. But it does work overall because we were able to get video output on the monitor. Now, instead of waiting around for that, I did a little bit of sleuthing, and I was fortunate enough to find possibly a new old stock replacement display. I'm hoping it is. We will find out. Switching to an overhead view, still in my office. My workbench is a mess in the basement. I don't really feel like cleaning it up right now. So I just brought up the camera mount from down there to use up here. So as you can see, the top is fairly scratched, but there's nothing I can really do about that. I might be able to buff it a little bit, but that's just going to end up smoothing the plastic out, maybe making it shiny. We'll see. The bigger thing, as you can see, this part here is broken off completely. I have absolutely no idea if I've got the pieces for it anywhere. Bigger damage is right there near the PS2 connector, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Yep, PS2 mouse connector. So I do have that. That's broken off there. This is cracked completely to the point where the PCMC IA slot doors came off. So that's not cool. So yeah, there's definitely some damage here. And if we look down here even, you can see there's a crack here and right there. Yeah, not going to be fun. Oh, man. Yeah, on top of that, my precision screwdriver won't even fit into these holes. And I didn't even try to push it all the way down. I barely did. And this front piece snapped off. I was able to glue it back in place, but that's not a good sign either. So I had to dig around to try to find a screwdriver that'll fit. And I found this little rinky-dink one here. It probably came in some sort of kit of some sort for installing something. And yeah, that should fit just fine. And then I'll be able to use the precision screwdriver for everything else, hopefully. Repairing this plastic is not going to be easy. I may be able to glue pieces together. And I do have this pretty good glue, at least so far. I've been using it on a lot of plastics, and it's been really, really, really adhesive. But I do want to try to preserve everything as much as possible. The rubber feet seem to be intact, although this one is missing. I did take the battery out just because it's dead and in the way and all of that. The other issue that we will have to address, which is a no-brainer, is the CMOS battery. It's just a little 1220, I believe, CR1220, so I can replace that. Looks like it's got 32 megs of RAM added on top of whatever is built in, which I don't remember what it was, so what have you, that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and get the rest of these screws out of here. IFIXIT does have a guide out there, which is kind of impressive considering how old this thing is. Someone must have just put it up on their own, but I'm going to try to follow that to take this apart, and just like I have been doing in the past, try to mark down where the screws go as well, so that I don't hopefully I don't lose them. So, all right, let's go ahead and get everything set up so I can take this apart without hopefully losing my mind. Now, I do also know that there is other broken plastic internally because I can hear it rattling, hoping at least that it's plastic parts and not, anything metal, because I don't want anything short out. Let's go ahead and see. Of course, this particular screwdriver is not magnetic. But I can use that. Cool. And just for those who haven't seen me do this before, like I said, rough layout, and I just poke these right through. And hopefully I don't lose them. This entire piece is going to come off right now. Oh, no, it's not. Something else is still holding it in place. Heck yeah. It's a nice long one. It's probably for the keyboard. All right, so they should all be removed now. Let's go ahead and flip this over carefully. And we should be able to remove the keyboard, which will expose the internals. I may need a spudger. All right, so apparently it's recommended to try to slide the keyboard a little forward before attempting to lift it, but I'm not sure if that's what they mean by it or not. There we go. Carefully lift up, and I can't show it on camera, but there are 3 ribbons in the back. And let me see if I can grab another vantage point. I have to introduce some shaky cam as I use my personal phone here. And there's the broken pieces, but yeah, you've got 3 ribbons right there that need to be removed carefully. Maybe easier if I do it this way. And then there's some sort of film that's kind of holding everything in place too, but it doesn't seem to be an actual ribbon. All right, I think I got it. There's a little sliding mechanism. We just slide forward and then this comes out. And I think what this does is it helps protect this smaller ribbon cable here. It's probably a little fragile, so that's why they got that protection there. Other than it being dirty, and it's going to have to be cleaned, although I'm not going to be able to disassemble it because it's plastic welded in place. So basically I'm just going to have to give it a good wipe down and hope for the best. I really don't want to soak this in anything. There's foam here and metal parts, and I don't want those corroding or rusting or anything. So I'm just going to have to do my best, maybe brush the dust and vacuum it, and then just spray it a few times with something, Windex, cleaner, whatever, and hope for the best. But this doesn't seem to be really broken. There's a minor crack there. That's not a big deal. Small one there too, possibly. Again, not a big deal. Overall, it's intact, and that's really all I care about. All right, now we can get a lot closer look at all the damage. There's this, I'm guessing, some sort of spacer that goes above the, well, actually, no, it's actually part of the lower half of the shell, and that covers the CD-ROM drive. Here's the PCMCIA port, or what's left of it. So that's some sort of eject mechanism. I'm not quite sure what it was for. Possibly docking station eject or battery eject. I don't remember. This is attached to something, that's why it wouldn't completely come out. Gluing all this together is going to be a pain. Oh, random spring. Not sure where that goes. Probably here. So that's metal. That's good that I got that out of there in time. Let's see here. Optical drive, floppy disk drive. I'm guessing the hard drive might be in here. Yep, I can see it there. Dust bunnies, extra screws and stuff like that. So in order to remove the drive cage, we do have to remove 2 screws in the back. And a bunch of other screws, I'm sure, too. So let's go ahead and get that done. Probably not going to be able to capture this part on camera just because of the angles. I'll give you a quick look at what everything looks like in the back. 2 screws here, one here, and then 2 more here. So we'll get those removed and we'll continue on. All right, got those screws removed. Now I got to turn this back around and open it back up. Another piece of plastic that came off. I need to disconnect this connector here, as well as remove this screw here and this one here, and this should release the drive cage, hopefully. Looks like a lot of these screws are the same. And it's good that it looks like most of the screw posts have those little brass inserts in them, so that's a good thing overall. All right, and let's see. There we go. And apparently this has to lift up. And there's another piece broken off there. Oh, it's the same one, I should say. That comes loose. And then in theory... Nope, there's one screw in front here. It looks like, yep, and that's not in the teardown guide. Interesting. And there's a drive assembly, combination CD floppy drive. Might need to take the drive out and give it a cleaning, clean the heads, get the CD-ROM drive opened up itself and give that a cleaning. I've got a cleaning kit. Maybe I'll run that after I power everything back on. Looks like some small spots of rust. I'll have to address that. Otherwise, it looks like it's in okay shape. So, all right. And as far as the hard drive goes, I already removed the screws back there. So according to the guide, I should just have to pull it forward. Another piece broken. The whole thing is just falling apart. Another broken piece, not even sure where that goes to. This is not going to be fun to put back together, I will be honest with you guys. Another broken piece there. Probably won't find that or find out where that goes. Now this should just slide out. I'm not sure how though, because the hard drive connector is right here. It says remove the hard drive top enclosure by pulling back towards you and lifting out. So pulling back and lifting out. Unless they mean just the shield here. And this is supposed to slide out and then I have to remove the drive separately. Let me finagle it a little. Alright, so I just managed to just slide it forward and the whole assembly comes out. So yep, just a standard IDE drive. Not sure the size. I'll have to find a way to fish it out of here. But for now, it's free, and we don't have to worry about it too much. Exposing some of the board, some sort of Intel flash. I'm guessing that might be a BIOS chip right there. So once I get the main board out of there, we'll take a closer look at everything. All right, what else do we have to do next? Oh, and that's as far as this guide goes. It stops just at getting the hard drive out of there. So the rest of this, I'm going to have to wing it. So that's what I'm going to do. Looks like we've got a screw here, just covering the audio in jack, interestingly enough. All right, so next we've got, there's two screws here for the hinge, so I'm going to leave that for later. I'm going to get this screw out here and here for the board and this little sound thing. Not sure what's under there. That could just be the heat sink. The CPU could be under there. We'll find out. Got this screw here, 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 and this holding this plastic piece, which is holding the back venting to the shell. And then there's still this thing that I'm not sure how to remove yet, so we're going to leave it, although I think that might be the microphone. There's this cable here, so that could be holding it in place. Just some sort of a piece that goes over the, like I said, the microphone input. We'll leave that in place for now because I'm not sure how to remove that. I'm sure I could probably find a service manual for it somewhere and maybe it'll go into greater detail. I'll look it up before I put this back together maybe. so that I know how to. So here's the, I'm assuming, microphone cable. We'll fish that through like so. And there we go. Oh man, this is not going to end well. But again, that's part of retro computing, right? And there's still something holding everything in place. I wonder if I have to remove the... No, because I still would need to disconnect the display cable, which is connected to the board. Looks like there's two separate boards actually here. Now, this is where having a guide would be very helpful. Yeah, it's not going to work either. So it looks like this is the vent and the hinge cover, which is probably plastic clips. And another piece broke off. That goes near the PS2 port and the power port again. So that's separated now, but I need to be able to lift it up off of the hinges themselves. Well, this screw just randomly fell out. And the entire back corner is now free. So I should be able to maybe hopefully glue that together. Although, taking a look at this real quick here, the plastic is nice and thick. I mean, compared to some laptops. There's some repair techniques I may be able to make use of, but we'll get to that later. I still need to... Oh, there is another screw here hiding underneath that is... That's not fair. How am I supposed to get to that? On one side, I have no problem. On the other side, and another spring, which I have absolutely no idea where it goes. I'm going to try doing this here. I mean, this case is already trashed beyond repair. Maybe. But I'm wondering if... Okay, so this is where the display cable is then. Just all right here. Question is, does it just lift up? There we go. Cool. So, I think we're okay. The display itself, the assembly, does not seem to have any chips or cracks in it except for this missing piece here, which, like I said, I may or may not have. But overall, I think it should be okay. Set this somewhere important and where it won't be hopefully disturbed. All right, so now all we have left is a bunch of broken pieces of plastic, random hinges, and we still need to get the rest of this out of here. So what is the shield actually attached to? There's the speaker. Another random piece. Putting this back together is, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to put this back together. Here's a, it's not a screw post, but it's just a support post that's been broken off. This has to come out somehow. Is there another screw somewhere? Another random piece of plastic. And in theory, this should just... Oh, that's broken. All right, there's the motherboard. There's a CPU in here somewhere. Oh, there's a fan over here, so the CPU is probably somewhere underneath here. There are some capacitors there, electrolytic. I might have to dig into this further and try and determine if they're leaking or not. But this did power on when we did a test, so that's a good sign. Doesn't seem dirty otherwise. Probably going to have to, though, just give it a basic cleaning. Oh, infrared port, which I don't think I have the cover for it, so... Fun times. Don't get into retro computing or anything. Just joking. It can be rewarding at times. Here's the shell, or what's left of it. Even these covers for the, the docking station are completely jacked. And that's probably where one of these little springs comes from, is right there. Not only did this piece break off, but a piece of the piece broke off. But we do have a date code. This was manufactured 1997, of course, June 13th. Apparently I haven't been recording, so hopefully I got these pieces. If not, recap real quick. There's that. There's that. This part goes here. It's a complete mess. Date code here is 97, so 1997, 06, June 13th. So June 13th, 1997. I wonder if that was a Friday. Now I'm going to go and take this and shake it over a trash can to get some of these little bits out. This is ready to fall off. But I want to go ahead and see what I can do with this. I'll be back. So I gave it a shaking over a bag, and it was a good thing I did because these little standoffs broke off too, including this one with the brass insert, which is going to be important for reattaching things. So I don't know, what do y'all think? Do you think this is worth putting back together? Should I cut my losses and just, go online and try to find maybe a good in-shape 380 that has maybe a bad board or something and just do a swap out? I don't know, what do y'all think? I think I'm going to stop the video here then. We'll call this part 1 so that I can go through and determine whether or not it actually is worth continuing or not. Well, this is the end of part 1. So, if you guys have any tips or anything like that on repairing broken plastic, or if you have leads on like replacement shells, like maybe you do have a secret warehouse of spare IBM parts somewhere and will be willing to part with one for a reasonable fee, of course, let me know in the comments below. We'll work something out, although I doubt that that is a thing. It's really more wishful thinking, let's be honest here. But yeah, if you guys ever had to try to repair one of these things before, and how did that go? How did that work out for you? Because it doesn't seem to be going very well for me at the moment. I don't even know where this one goes. Maybe right there. And then this one I know went here. Waldo Clean Professional Super Glue for plastic. You've got your work cut out for you. We'll catch you guys in part 2. Thanks. Bye.